Welcome. Welcome to my home office today. I am able to work from here today, and I'm so happy that you have joined us for this first meeting with Molly. Actually, I wanted to have something more significant like matters of magnitude with Molly, but I obey what Cindy Beth told me to do. I do want you to know how welcome you are. You are welcome to visit my office at school. My door is always open unless I'm Zooming, and you are welcome to call and you are welcome to visit. I have been with United now for 1 year, 1 month, and 12 days since I am counting, and it has been a good full year with a few extra days. I have learned so much during this time about the storied history of United, the faithful faculty, and the creative students. It is a privilege to lead in this season in a time of renewal. We have been crafting the future with holy possibilities. When I talk to friends of the seminary, they often ask, tell me about the students. Well, as our t-shirt says, they are scholar, artist, activist, and healer, all united. This speaks of the diversity of callings and the common thread of deep care and desire to make an impact toward justice. Just a few bits of information. This spring, we had 206 enrolled students, supported by stellar members of the faculty and staff. These students come primarily from Minnesota and the Midwest, but we actually have students in 34 states. 60% of our students are distance students and take part in courses in real time via Zoom. And we worked really hard to create a Zoom culture, but we're also working these days for students to be able to take courses asynchronously, which helps them with their own work responsibilities and family commitments. We have over 25 denominations represented among our student body, as well as other traditions, other ways of faith. The largest among our body is UCC students, and followed by UU students, then Presbyterians and Methodists. We're also up to 7 Baptists in the spring of 22. I might have something to do with that. But I don't want too many. You know, we only want the nice ones to come, not Baptists who rhyme with root canal. We want the nice ones. You may be interested to know that actually I have dual standing now with the UCC. I went through that process this past fall, had to write a paper, have an interview, all the things that our students would do as they depart and prepare to be recognized in the Minnesota conference or wherever they might be. I have the Clyde Steckel seal of approval on my paper written for the UCC. I think that's what got me through. This last week before last, on May the 1st, we had 27 students graduate. And I want to share with you a quote from one of our graduating seniors. She writes, "Today finalizes 5 years of hard work, discernment, prayerfulness, building and constructing a vessel to serve God. I have been so blessed to walk this journey with my fellow seminarians of all faiths as we work to heal this universe full of broken people. Today, I thank my professors of faith at UTS for guiding me, helping me listen to the whisper in my ear, leading me by their example and serving as a community of love and stability for myself and my fellow seminarians. God led me to UTS, and I am forever grateful. God knew UTS would grow a minister in me." It's a lovely affirmation. It is a gift to hear students report that their educational experience has been so significant. We continue to honor historic progressive Christianity as well as the other faiths that come to United. One of our beloved graduates led us in a Buddhist mindfulness practice at the commencement service, which greatly enriched the whole. Now, at this time of year, I have a little saying. It's one of my presidential mantras. It is, salvation is by grace, but graduation is by works. Well, usually a little grace is thrown in for some along the way. We're on break this week, but a new term begins next week. You know, we have 3 terms a year, which makes it possible for our students to have some breaks and to schedule courses according to their need. This summer, in addition to courses like New Testament and evangelism, there will be a new core course taught on Black and womanist theologies, and a course on food, culture, and justice in the biblical tradition, an elective that will count toward our new eco-justice concentration. And I promise it won't just be about manna and quail, loaves and fishes. It'll be a larger look at what the justice issues are as we think about food. There's also some other good news. We have a new chaplain, Reverend Nikki France, who brings creativity and experience in planning and leading worship with diverse communities. She has hospital chaplaincy training, a graduate of ILEF. She is also one of the pastors at Solomon's Porch here in Minneapolis. We are delighted to have her, for she has a passion for seeking what is possible and a great gift for pastoral care that many of us have already experienced. She will be a great addition to the community. If you've been paying attention to the multiple posts from United, you know that the Lilly Endowment gave us $1 million to start a leadership center for social justice. You can read more about it on our website, but we are in the process right now of recruiting our first cohort of 16 pastors who will learn how to bring justice to congregational life. You know, pastors are being asked to do things that maybe they have not been yet prepared to do. Other good news for us is another word from one of our students who calls herself an artist activist. This one is an alum who shared her story for the upcoming issue of Voices. She writes, United is a seminary that is unafraid to adapt to the changing world. Learning alongside classmates of various religious backgrounds nourished my ability to hone my own ideas while holding compassionate and curious space for the journey of others. Holding compassionate and curious space for the journeys of others is what we want to be about at United. As some of you know, last fall, alum and board member Andrea Johnson and her husband David Fry endowed a new chair in world religions and intercultural studies at United. Yesterday, the Board of Trustees voted unanimously to appoint Moonshed M. Urad to this new chair. He is my surprise guest today. And so Moonshed, I welcome you. You will join us in July, but today you're joining us from the DC area where you have been teaching even as you complete your dissertation. Moonshed is a doctoral candidate in comparative religion at Harvard Divinity School. He's also a graduate in religion and ecology from the Yale School of environment. He has published and lectured on religion and nature, Sufism, Islam, Christianity, native religions of the Americas, mysticism, and comparative religion. His CV is both long and impressive, showing wide-ranging scholarly interests and a desire to ground his study in ways that shape many in their religious tradition. So Moonshed, welcome. It's so good to see you.
Thank you, Molly. It is a pleasure and honor. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. I am honored and grateful and excited to join the faculty at United.
Well, we are just doing a jig, as they would say in the South. We are very happy that you will be joining us in July. We'll be teaching in the fall. So I want to pose a question or two. What drew you to United?
Well, firstly, that it's a seminary that's interested in addressing the whole of a human being, not just its mind, not just concepts, but the whole of a human being. Then also, the particular position in world religions and intercultural studies, my own specialty is in comparative religion, Islam and Christianity, but also tending to other religions, and a position in world religions and intercultural studies is alongside the fact that that United is a seminary is really the most inviting aspect of this. It's why I imagine myself in July entering retirement, just doing what I want to do for the rest of my life.
We're hoping you'll stay 50 years, as you said.
Yes.
At one point in our conversation. It has struck me, as you and I have had conversation and as you've talked with the search committee, that you really wanted to be in a seminary where we form religious leaders. Talk about that a bit.
Yes, definitely. There's something that a seminary can do that most institutions of higher education cannot. And that's that it engages the whole of a human being. As I just said a moment ago, the humanities are meant to do that. But more and more are restricted by the paradigms of higher education. And so does a seminary operate within a paradigm. Mm-hmm. But the paradigm of religion is a paradigm that breaks paradigms. By focusing, by centering upon the transcendent, that which transcends, it constantly breaks paradigms. Of course, it could fall into its own paradigm and sub-paradigm, and we're all vulnerable. However, by its nature, it encourages the transcending of paradigms. And that's to be in that kind of space, a space that welcomes that. That's one of the, if not the most inviting aspect of teaching at a seminary.
Thank you for that wonderful answer. The most important questions are questions that we address in seminary. Absolutely. And that we seek to cultivate respect for the lived religion of others matters very much in the culture of United. One of the great interests and actually expertises that you bring to this is your eco-justice commitments and preparation. What about that new program concentration at United excites you?
Oh, well, for one, it's one of the very, very few in the world that that combines the environment and religion. It's a rare thing, and one would assume that it would be more present it's not. Heaven knows why, but it is present here and not elsewhere for the very most part. And it's also a nexus point for the understanding of other religions, because one thing that one thing that combines religious peoples around the world, so they all share the same environment. We all share the forests, we all share the sky, we all share the ocean, and every collection of human beings, every religious cosmos, so to speak, has its own vantage point into what or who a woodpecker is, the ocean is, the sun is, and so forth. And the history of comparative religion, or of interreligious dialogue and interaction, shows that our understanding of the world is enriched through our understandings of each other's understandings of the world. And this particular program can help, I hope, help us understand the world as well as human others, both human and non-human others.
Yes. Thank you for that. In my imaginings, Moonshed, you have some immersion courses where we go to the woods, or we go to the boundary waters, or we do something that is uniquely Minnesotan. And so I'm going to be pushing that we all go camp somewhere or take a long walk or something that will bring the revelatory beauty of creation, of nature, closer to us. I've heard you say that God does not just speak through Holy Scriptures. God speaks as well through this wonderful creation that we inhabit.
Absolutely. I want you present in that immersion experience.
I'm a little bit of a tenderfoot, but we'll see. Moonshed, just a little bit more about you personally. I recall you saying that when you were a boy, that you had a Timberwolves basketball player's poster on your wall.
Yes.
Is this the truth, or was that just kissing up to this faculty?
Yes. No, it's very true. And my family, which is watching this online, can attest to it. As a child, I had NBA posters all around my room, on my closet, and what's interesting is that we didn't have much, we must have had some NBA games show in Jordan, in Amman, Jordan. But what interested me the most, I always wanted to watch an NBA game. I was always so attracted to it, to basketball teams as a child. I think because of this, because of an attraction to totems, and to this association, to an association with a creature. We are the Timberwolves. We are the Raptors. We are the Wasps, or the Hornets rather, and so forth. And I had their posters all around my wall, and I especially remember Kevin Garnett, who my parents would purchase these basketball magazines for me, and always Kevin Garnett would appear with these Got Milk advertisements, and then also with his own posters and Timberwolves outfits. And I had Kevin Garnett. I especially remember Kevin Garnett.
I love that. I love that. I remember you were actually born in the U.S., but then you grew up in Jordan. I remember you saying that Arabic was your second language.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
yes.
That's just wonderful to have the fluency to work in both so well.
Well, I hope so. I hope I'm making sense.
You're making great sense, except I don't know much about the NBA. I know a little bit about the world of tennis and a little bit about the Kansas City Chiefs and Kansas basketball, but don't get me started. on that here. United is celebrating this major step of adding you to the faculty. You will not be the first who does not share the Christian faith on our faculty, but you will be the first in an endowed chair that specifically deals with world religions and intercultural studies. And I don't think anything could signal our commitment to interreligious engagement any more strongly than inviting you to join this faculty. The catalytic gift that the Johnson Fry family offered demonstrates vision, demonstrates generativity, demonstrates the keen awareness of the kind of world in which we live, which is religiously plural, and where we learn from one another, even as we are passionately and convictionally embedded in some tradition or none, which our students often come and then explore various faith traditions. I think you will find our students creative, inquisitive, longing for significance and to make impact. They were so impressed with your lecture, with your commitments, and with your genuine openness to being a part of this community. We want intercultural competence. We want respect for how persons practice their religion or even their non-theistic persuasions. And so you will find here a wide array of folk who have a common goal, and that is to learn and to forge together a beloved community so that they might do that work after they graduate. Moonshed, thanks so much for joining me today, and all of you who have given some time here at noon to have this live meeting. Thank you for doing that. We'll do this again because I imagine there will be some more good news to share in the next few months. Thank you, all of you, for helping us craft a future full of holy possibility. Take good care this day. Bye-bye.